Hi, Jim. I recently rewatched the Rock and Roll Express versus Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude again from December of '86, and I have two questions. Could anyone do a better job of facial expression of anguish in a back body drop than Rick Rude? And the other question is, have you seen a better example of a nearly flawless match ruined by a half-ass spot, like the chair work done by Manny at the end of it while Ricky sells it? I was at the show as a kid. We left after the match due to my mother being struck by a prosthetic leg launched at her face. Whoa.
Wait.
You should have led with that, Matthew.
Wait a minute. I want you, hold on. Just put it on pause here for a second. We're going to rewind that, and I want you to read that last line and recognize, ladies and gentlemen, when he does this, that this is only the second time in the history of civilization that a human being has spoken these words in this order out loud. Go ahead.
We left the match due to my mother being struck by a prosthetic leg launched at her face.
Well, I'm sorry for your experience. What was his name?
Matthew in Cincinnati.
Matthew up in Cincinnati. I'm sorry for your experience. I'm close to you. I may come up and comfort you in person. I'd like to see you in person, but no. But anyway, continue now with his.
That's it. That's the question. Long live the Arcadian Vanguard. Thank you for that, Matthew. After that question, but what do you remember about this match, Rock and Roll Express versus Manning and Rick Rude?
Well, okay. See, and here's another thing, Matthew. Here, I feel like Festus now, and Matthew. You saw this match when you were a kid, and it's very memorable to you. But I worked with these guys and saw or could see their matches and tried to watch the matches most nights, unless we were doing something that we had to be doing elsewhere. But you remember it step by step and move for move. I saw these guys every night of the week when I worked with them for weeks and months on end. So I don't know what the fucking match it is that you're talking about. I have no idea. They had a bunch of matches, and I bet you in some of them chairs were used. I don't know. Is there any specifics you can help me with this, Brian?
I don't remember much about that specific match or incident. I mean, I wish the prosthetic leg incident was on camera, but let me ask you this. Let me redo this question.
As a matter of fact, that is probably the only reason why you read that question was because the involvement of the prosthetic.
I can't confirm nor deny that, but let me ask you this. Can you think of examples? Because I've seen it happen a few times where a match is going really good, there's great heat, the fans are really into it, and then a really weak chair shot just causes the crowd to go, oh.
Well, yes, I can't really cite chapter and verse, but the flavor of what you're saying, whether it be a chair shot or whether somebody goes for something and it just doesn't work out for whatever reason, or some blatant, it's a blatant buzz killer is what it is what you're talking about, where everything's going pretty well and then something happens. Sometimes I've said the ropes break. You know, right at the worst time. And it's worse if a guy fucking falls out and then all the people are convinced that he's dead. And then that takes their mind off of everything. And if you're in the finish or blah, 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 or whatever. Yes, there's sometimes they're self-inflicted buzz killers. And other times it's just, something like that's accidental. But yeah, I can't really think off the top of my head that a match that I just thought was ruined because of one particular thing. I'm vamping here, but it's not coming to me.
The prosthetic leg being launched at her face, that means someone ripped off their own leg and threw it at the ring.
Well, now yes, I'm not surprised. I mean, I've never gotten a prosthetic limb, but I've had people in cold weather throw a shoe at me. And I'm thinking, okay, they're going to fucking go home with one fucking shoe, but they were so mad at me they had to. So I can believe it in those days. Things like that did happen. Who was it? Goddamn, was it Sputnik Monroe's? And of course, Sputnik was, one to tell tales, but I've heard it. I've heard it a couple different times about a couple different people that somebody threw a baby at him. I think one time it was in a newspaper. Wasn't it on In the News? Didn't we cover that on In the News on your program?
We may have, yeah.
So, yeah.
I recently saw a video of, I think it was the Midnight versus the Fantastics in Houston. I spoke to you about this, I think, on The Experience, but I think this is the match where you actually literally see a man throw a baby in the air. You know, everyone has heard you say that expression, but you literally see the guy throwing the baby in the air. I was like, wow, look at that.
Yes, he was like helping the baby celebrate, right?